It was a cold and stormy Halloween night in the middle of Tennessee, as the blacked-out Suburban soared down the rain-slicked back roads of old Woodbury Highway. An argument broke out among the six occupants of the SUV. "Chris, you're too drunk to drive. Why don't you pull over and let Kelsey drive before you kill all of us?" Kimmy shouted from the back seat. "Don't worry, Kimmy. I've driven this road a million times. We'll make it to the party alive. But if you're that scared of my driving, then put your seatbelt on. We'll be there in just a couple of minutes. The party's just right up there, around this bend, at the old Miller mansion," Chris said as he glanced back over his shoulder at Kimmy. Looking back at the road, Chris pointed to the lit up Miller mansion, as Dakota exclaimed, "Oh my god, this is my favorite song," cranking the stereo in the Suburban as, as it blared out the lyrics to AC/DC's new song, "Highway to Hell." As the SUV pulled to a stop in the driveway of the old Miller mansion, its six occupants began to unload their bags from the SUV. As Chris turned to Kimmy, saying, "See, what did I tell you? Nothing to worry about, Kimmy. We made it to the party in one piece, and you're still—" Before Chris could finish his sentence, Dakota cut him off, saying, "Come on, Kimmy, for once in your life, just relax and enjoy the party tonight. After all, this is the last time we're all going to be together in the same place before we head off to college next year." Kimmy glared at Dakota and said, "Who said I wasn't going to be having fun tonight, Dakota? After all, I did bring Maddie with us." At that moment, Matt stepped out of the Suburban, saying, "Hey now, ladies, no need to fight. There's enough of me to go around." Just then, Dante shot up through the sunroof, hollering, "Oh really, Poindexter? If these two beautiful women are going to fight over anyone, it's going to be yours truly." "Oh, boo, she ain't touching you." "You're my dark temptation," Dakota shouted as she jumped onto Dante's arm. "Yes, that's right, my little bunny. I'm all yours," Dante said before kissing Dakota. "Oh, come on, you guys. This night was supposed to be about the six of us getting wasted and having a good time. Now, what do you say we all get inside and join the party?" Kelsey said. The three girls grabbed the bags and took them inside, as the guys grabbed the 4 cases of beer they had brought with them. Once inside the old Miller mansion, Chris shouted out, "The king's here, so let the party begin." Kimmy popped up, saying, "Have a look around, you drunken idiot. There's no one here. Are you sure the party was supposed to be tonight?" "Yes, the party is tonight. Everyone else must just be running late or something. So, let's go ahead and get this party kicked off the right way," Dante says as he pulls a bag of weed out of his backpack. "Really, Dante? You brought drugs with you?" Kimmy said with a tone of disapproval in her voice. "Of course I did, Kimmy. It's the last time that we all get to a party together," Dante said as he rolled up a joint. "What exactly is that supposed to mean, Dante?" Kelsey questioned. "What, Dakota hasn't told you guys yet?" Dante asked while lighting up the joint and hitting it before passing it to Dakota. "Told us what, bro?" The rest of the group replied in unison. "Oh man, you'll never believe this. She got accepted into the University of Cambridge and will be moving overseas. That's why we all decided to get together and have one last hurrah. After all, this is the last time that I'm going to get to see my little bunny for a while," Dante said while staring deeply into Dakota's eyes. "Well, it sucks that you're moving away, Squirt, but you couldn't have gotten into a better school. So here's to Dakota, and to our final night together as a family," Chris said as he raised his beer into the air. The rest of the group followed shortly behind him, shouting out, "I'll drink to that." 20 minutes later had gone by before Matt spoke up and said, "Well, since we're just sitting around smoking and drinking while waiting for everyone else to show up, who wants to tell ghost stories?" Kimmy turned to Matt, nudged him, and said, "Why don't you tell them the one that you're always telling me?" Matt started off by saying, "Did you know that in this very house, 47 years ago, on this very night, The Millers threw a Halloween party, just like this one, but their party had a sad and tragic end to it. You see, they were all murdered in their sleep after the party, and it's said that on Halloween night you can hear the screams if you listen closely. Dakota spoke up saying, "Oh yeah? Well, if this mansion is really haunted, why don't we split into groups of two and search the mansion to see if we can find anything of interest? Matt and Kimmy, you look down here. Me and Dante will look upstairs, while Kelsey and Chris search the basement." Dakota and Dante took off upstairs and began to search the rooms one by one. As Chris and Kelsey entered the basement, Kelsey turned to Chris and said, "Baby, do you really think the Miller family was actually murdered in their sleep all that time ago in this house?" Chris spoke up saying, "It doesn't matter to me if they were or not. It's not like ghosts actually exist. That's just some Hollywood invented to make some fast money." Dakota yelled at the top of her lungs, "Bloody hell! You guys won't believe what me and Dante just found upstairs in the master bedroom. Meet us in the front room and grab some beers. We're going to need them for this." Everyone met back up in the front room as Dakota and Dante walked down the stairs. Dakota held her arms out in front of her with a wooden board no bigger than a pizza box. "Look guys, we found a Ouija board underneath the bed of the master bedroom. Come on, who wants to play with it?" "No way! Dakota, don't you know those things are not toys?" Matt said frantically. "Yeah, whatever dude, we get it. You're trying to give us a real spook for Halloween. But come on, grow up for a minute. It's just a game. Ghosts are not real, so just give up the act and have a little fun." Chris blanched out as he opened another beer. "Come on, Matt, let's have a little fun. It doesn't seem like anyone else is going to be showing up anytime soon. Dante, why don't you go ahead and roll another joint and Dakota and me will grab a couple of beers for the gang," Kimmy said as he tossed the bag of wheat at Dante. Kelsey took the Ouija board from Dakota as she got up from the couch and set it up on the glass coffee table in front of the couch and chairs. As Kimmy and Dakota started to hand out beers to the gang, Chris got up from his chair and walked over to the wall, flipping the light switch on, which in turn lit up the whole front room area with the beaming light from the hanging chandelier in the hallway. Walking back over towards the table, Chris asked, "Hey Dakota, do you find a planchette with that board?" "No, but we can use a shot glass. It'll be fine. We all just have to place a finger on it," Dakota responded. The gang sat there and smoked a couple of joints before all of them had the courage to place one of their fingers on the shot glass and try to contact the supposedly deceased Miller family. Dakota started off by asking, "Is there anyone here that would like to talk to us tonight?" The glass shot slowly moved to the word "yes" on the board. As the group began to freak out, Kimmy said, "Whoever is moving it, it isn't funny. Just knock it off." The entire group looked at Kimmy and said, "We are not moving the shot glass." They continued to ask the board questions one by one, starting with Kelsey. "Are you a member of the Miller family?" The shot glass slowly circled to the word "yes." Kimmy then said to the board, "If you really are a member of the Miller family, then tell us how the family died." The shot glass began to zip back and forth across the board, spelling the word "murdered." The questioning continued to all the way around the group to Dakota, who asked, "Why are you still here?" The board began to spell out "trapped," his grasp. Dakota asked again, "Whose grasp are you stuck in?" The board spelled out "death," his house, no way out. The group all freaked out and shot up from the floor away from the board as the shot glass continued to zip back and forth, spelling out "no way out, no way out, no way out." Matt ran towards the front door, grabbing the handle, shaking it, only to realize that the door was locked. In a panic, the group ran towards the back door of the mansion to find that the back door was also locked. After 15 minutes of brainstorming, the guys decided that they would try and see if Matt and Chris could hold the garage door up long enough for Dante to squeeze under and break the front door down so the rest of them could make it out of the house. Chris lit a crowbar that he found in the garage under the bay door and pried it up far enough for Matt to get his fingers and hold it in place so Chris could grab a hold of the other end and begin to pry it up far enough for Dante to squeeze under. As Dante squished his head under the bay door, Matt's grip began to slip, and the door dropped, slamming down on Dante's neck, breaking it under the pressure. "Oh my God!" Dakota cried out as she fell to the floor sobbing. "Dakota, I'm so sorry, but we don't have any time to waste. We need to find a way out of here, and we can mourn Dante later. But for now, let's just worry about getting the hell out of this house," Kimmy said as she helped Dakota up from the floor. Chris turned to the group and said, "Hey guys, I know I've had a lot of drinking tonight, but I was thinking, maybe we could break a window and get out that way." "That's the best idea I've ever heard you come out of your mouth in 6th grade, Chris," said Dakota. They all ran back up to the front room of the house, and Chris told Matt that they would need to grab a couple of fire pokers. Chris and Matt began bashing away at the windows until their arms were sore, and they didn't even manage to scratch the glass. So Dakota grabbed a chair out of the dining room and told the boys to get out of the way as she launched the chair full force into the window, but the chair just bounced right back at them and lay at Chris's feet as if to taunt him, telling him that they would never make it out of this house. Chris turned to the group and said, "Screw this, I'm going to get us out of here. Just get out of my way. I'm not running back for no reason. Just move and I'll shoulder slam my way through the window, and we'll be able to escape through the window after I smash it." The group all stood back as Chris sprinted down the hallway and shoulder charged into the window, only to bounce himself right back down the hallways and slam his head against the entranceway to the basement, sending him tumbling down the stairs, snapping his neck as he hit the concrete floor at the bottom. Before anyone could even respond, Dakota sprung into action and said, "Everyone, follow me upstairs. I think I know how to get out of here." The remaining members of the group ran after Dakota upstairs and followed her into the master bedroom and saw her ripping the sheets off the bed. They asked her what they could do to help, and Dakota responded with, "Grab all the bed sheets you can find and tie them together. Then meet me back in this room and we'll all go from there." The group ran through the mansion, grabbing all of the bedding that they could find, and met Dakota back in the master bedroom. After tying all of the bedsheets together, Dakota tried to open the window, but it wouldn't budge. She then remembered what Chris had done earlier with a crowbar, and ran down the garage to grab it and ran back upstairs. Prying the window open far enough for her to squeeze through and escape to the ground and get help, Dakota hung the sheets out the window and told the rest of the group to hold them tightly as she was going to shimmy down and get help. As she made it halfway down, the sheet rope that the group had built, the knot right above her head had begun to loosen. The rope, made out of sheets, slipped out from under her, sending her falling to her death as she hit the pavement head first, splitting her skull clean open upon impact. Matt and Kimmy had begun to freak out as Kelsey reminded them that they could always strike the attic since the pull string was in the hall right outside the master bedroom. Kelsey grabbed the sheets and went out to the hallway, pulling the string, dropping the stairs down, and climbing up to the attic. Kelsey called down to Matt and Kimmy to get up the attic, that there was a broken window up there, that they could drop the remaining sheets out for her to climb down the balcony and unlock the door for them to escape. Kimmy and Matt gripped the sheets as tight as they could, and Kelsey climbed out of the window, but as she began to climb down, she lost her balance and slit her throat on the broken glass from the window, causing her to let go of the rope and fall to the ground below. "Come on, Kimmy, let's go downstairs and figure this out," Matt said as he escorted Kimmy out of the attic. Kimmy turned to Matt as he said, "Matty, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I wasn't expecting any of this to happen tonight. I'm so sorry." Matt looked at Kimmy and said, "You know, the only reason I'm here is because you wanted me to come along with you, so you didn't feel like the fifth wheel, and now I've witnessed 4 of my friends die tonight because I decided to come along." "You know what, Matty? It's over. You didn't have to come, And now, you're trying to blame the deaths of 4 of my best friends on me. You can go screw yourself. It's over between us. I hope I never have to see you again, Kimmy said, as she shoved Matt out of the way. Matt couldn't keep his balance due to the amount of alcohol he had consumed and lost his footing, stumbling backwards over the railing, landing on the still open basement door, snapping his spinal cord in half. As Matt dangled over the door, the chandelier snapped, slamming right down on top of Matt's upper body, sending him falling to the floor below. Kimmy took off down the stairs screaming, "Oh my god, Maddie, no!" As Kimmy ran down the stairs, she tripped on the tail of her skimpy cat outfit, causing her to roll down the stairs, slamming her head violently on the steps, backing out. As she lay there on the ground twitching, she heard a familiar voice calling out to her. "Kimmy, Kimmy, can you hear me? It's Mom, sweetheart." Kimmy then opened her eyes to see her mom standing over her in her sheriff's uniform. "Mom? Mama, is that you? What happened? Is everyone okay?" Kimmy stammered out of confused. "No, Kimmy, everyone is not okay. You were in a horrible accident, and none of your friends survived. The kids down at Old Miller Mansion heard the screeching tires and the loud sound of metal crumpling in itself. They ran down here and called 911 to report the accident. Chris' car veered off the road and collided with a tree, ejecting Kelsey and Dakota from the SUV onto the tree, breaking their necks upon impact. And Matt was sent flying through the windshield, breaking his spine in two when he impacted with the telephone pole. Chris was strapped in the car. He had slid down and had his neck pinned between the steering wheel and the seat, while Dante was the worst of all, being decapitated while the sunroof slammed shut on his neck. "What have I always told you, kiddo?" "I know, Mama. I tried to tell Chris not to drink and drive, but he wouldn't listen," Kimmy explained as her mom escorted her to the back of the ambulance. Hello everyone, your homo narrator here, and I wanna give a big thanks to the author of this story for allowing me to read it for all of you guys tonight. When I read this story, I was like, wow, I gotta read that. And the message at the end really caught my attention. So, if you guys like the story, I hope you all follow the wonderful message that he gave us at the end for everyone's safety. And I also want to give a big thanks for to the past authors of the stories from this week again for allowing me to make another set of videos for all of you guys this week. I also want to give a quick announcement saying that the Discord is not yet ready, unfortunately. There's still a couple things I gotta get ready, and I thought I would have it done by tonight, but you know, making a Discord is a little bit of a long process, so I will let you guys when it's done in the near future. But for now, I hope you all have a good night, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world, and I hope to see you guys next week. Cheers.